Hey everybody, I'm Veljko and you're watching part 2 of Peugeot 207's quirks and features. If you want to see more videos of my Peugeot, make sure to like and subscribe. But yeah, I found 10 more interesting things about this beautiful car. So without further ado, let's get to them. Now this one, I wouldn't call it an interesting feature or a quirk, and that is you can lower your seat very quickly in one move. Boom, done. And it comes back automatically when you press it. So I love that feature when I just quickly want to relax if I'm waiting in city. The next quirk is about this cap here that you open. See, this Peugeot works by you use your key to fill, and before, like, I was just putting this on the roof or I don't know where to put, but then I realized that you can just put it here. Like it's specifically designed to hold this and to hang it here while you fill it up, and I think that's a genius idea. I don't know if many other cars have that, but it's really a convenient thing while you're refueling your Peugeot. So nice detail. The next interesting and hidden feature that I didn't know I had until a few weeks ago is you can turn on the automatic locking doors when you start driving. So if I don't know if you can see it, you activate that by long pressing this lock button here. So if I say now it's deactivated. It's a useful feature for those who have the Peugeot 207 with 4 doors, because if just in case somebody opens the unlocked door and steals something, so it's a very useful feature. The next quirk of Peugeot 207 is this, let's say, door here that you can open, and you may be asking, like, why did they put that random door to open? And that is to easily see your coolant level, because it's covered, like you can't see unless you take off this whole piece. So they made it easier for you to put this there and just peek and see through that if the level is good. That's a very interesting thing that Peugeot did, if you ask me. The next feature is actually a design feature, and that is this big grille here. And it's so funny how Peugeot back 15 years ago predicted the trend of big grills, because this front end of this Peugeot actually now looks, it didn't date at all, if you ask me. Of course the headlights are starting to look old, but the design here, it's pretty modern still, and I'm really impressed by that, and I actually love this front end and front grille of this Peugeot 207. The next really interesting feature is this thing right here. Now at first I didn't know what this is for. I first thought it's to put a suction for navigation or something. Now my car doesn't have that, but some Peugeots have the air refreshener here, and when you put here and you turn on the air con, it blows nice smelling air. And when I heard about that, I thought it's such a French thing to do. It's such a cool feature, and I wish my Peugeot had that. The next really interesting feature is this glass, and that it's UV protected. That helps a lot because, as you can see, this windshield is really long, and lots of sun radiation gets into the cabin. So it's a really nice thing from Peugeot that they included that. It really feels, it's really, compared to the other glass, it's also not as warm. I think not every Peugeot has the UV windshield, but mine does, and I'm really grateful for it. The next feature is more of a safety feature, and that is if you keep the ignition on for quite a long time, like 15 to 20 minutes, the car is gonna shut down every power source, and it's gonna show here economy mode enabled. That way the car prevents you from using a lot of battery, and then later on that you won't be able to start the engine. It's a small feature, but it can certainly help you at least once owning this car. The next interesting, but in my case not really useful, feature is if you go to menu and you go to personalization configuration, then go to define the vehicle parameters, and lastly to parking assistance, you will see a feature where the rear wiper activates when you select the reverse gear. Now that's not a really good idea because if a rear window is very dirty, it can scratch the glass, but it's there if you need it. And while we are in this section, there's also an interesting feature where, as you can read, guide me home headlamps. That is a more useful feature than the previous one, because what it does is if you have a garage for your car and the garage is very dark when you park it, when you lock the car and get out of the car's headlights are still gonna be on for, you can pick 30 seconds or longer, so you have some light to navigate through your dark garage. Those are all the quirks and features that I found. I hope some of them you didn't know and I made your life easier, and that's all for this video. Take care.